right, you guys, first off, bear with me. I have my Invisalign in, so you're going to hear me slur a lot. You're going to hear me like mispronounce words. We're going to try to bear through it. I have to wear these 22 hours out the goddamn day, so hopefully I get adjusted to it. Just got them put in. But welcome back to your channel, y'all. This is Talks with Antoine. Let's jump right into it. This is going to be part 4 about how I became the black sheep of the family. Right, so where we last left off is that me and my sister had a conversation in April. I thought everything was ace boon coon. I thought that we were fine. I thought we were going to be able to move forward from this and all was well. She disappeared for a couple of days. You know, I ended up reaching out to her in that time frame, again, thinking everything is fine. However, like I said in the previous video, her ass was in her villain's lair, you know, scheming up a goddamn plan on how to control the situation, how to manipulate the situation, and how to actively like tear me down. So May rolls around and it's Mother's Day. And this is going to go into leading up to this next event on Mother's Day, is that I grew up in such a covert, manipulative, narcissistic household, which led me to be such a emotionally reactionary person, if that makes any sense. Like, whenever something was, you know, done to me, I immediately do it back. And when I do it back times 10, because that's my response. That's the response that I was raised on. That's how I saw the adults around me interact. That's how I saw the people around me interact, right? I saw I saw my mother and my sister throw, you know, rocks, hide their hand, turn around and play victim, right? And I've seen them do this to multiple people. I've seen my mother do it to my father react. Now she, you know, is the victim. She's the damsel in distress, and my father's the bad guy, right? I watched my sister, even when it was done to me, when it was done to some of her peers, when it was done to all the people that she was in a relationship with, right? She would do something, turn around, play victim, act like she don't know what's going on or what happened, and, you know, somebody's just attacking her. Meanwhile, she's the culprit all along, you know, throwing rocks, hiding her hand. And for me, I fell for it for many fucking years, right? I fell for always reacting to the bullshit that they were doing. My little sister did the exact same thing, right? I was always the one who got in fucking trouble for reacting. However, she was the culprit. Nobody held her accountable. Nobody held my sister accountable, and nobody held my mother accountable. So they moved through life just, you know, doing these things, hoping that I would react, right? In that, and in leading up to what I'm going to discuss further down the line, which is like the height of this goddamn story, was a part of me reacting. So May rolls around, like I said before, it's Mother's Day. My sister is like, little sister is side-eyeing me. She's making like snark comments about my living situation and this, that, and the third. So in the midst of the conversation, I caught one of the strays and finally like flipped the fuck out, right? We're in the middle of the goddamn dinner table. Everybody's eating. From what it appears, it's fine, right? Whole entire time she's sitting next to me and nobody's peeping what she's saying to me or the nasty looks that I'm getting from her. And everybody is so surprised about what the hell's happening. So surprised that I reacted, right? And this one was on me. Like, again, in that space, super reactionary. I cursed everybody the fuck out. My grandma was there. She caught a stray. Stepmother was there. Her toothless ass caught a goddamn stray. Mother was there. My mother's bald-headed ass caught a goddamn stray. I called, and in me cursing everybody out, before I jump to the next point, whenever I react, I'm not just calling you bitches and hoes. I'm not saying you stupid motherfucker, da-da-da-da. I'm not cursing and hooping and hollering like that. If I'm cursing you the fuck out, I'm reading you for filth. Like, my tongue, I have had to learn that it's very sharp. I've learned at work that I have to watch my mouth because when I get to know you and I know you as a person and I feel some type of way that you're starting to like come at me, I'm going to say some shit that will trigger the fuck out you. So one of the things that that my sister was insecure about is like her personal appearance and her weight. Now we were both going through that same thing. So I was just like, I yelled out and I'm like, that's why your fucking ass was fat and depressed. Baby, she broke down in tears. Oh, she turned into a victim. I'm like, for the last couple of months, you've been throwing shots at me. Now I decide to fucking explode on your ass. All of a sudden, you're the goddamn victim. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, oh my God, like I don't know why he's saying this to me. Oh my God, I don't know why he's treating me this way. He's just taking his anger out on me. The anger wasn't misplaced. It was directed specifically for you because of the shit that you was doing, right? Everybody else, I can admit, caught strays, right? And to its own right, much deserved. My sister, older one, tried to play mediator, this, that, and the third, and trying to figure out what's going on. The entire time she's plotting a plan on how to further manipulate this situation down the line, as I'm going to explain later on in the goddamn video. And it just turns into this big ass, like, this big ass mess, right? So I've probably been labeled the person who like ruined Mother's Day because of the way I fucking reacted. I'm in that motherfucker ready to flip tables and shit. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with being a villain. I was perfectly fine with cursing them the fuck out. I don't have any remorse for it because I was taking their bullshit for fucking months. Now, one of the things that she said prior was like, if you have a problem with me, you just need to approach it, right? So my mother rides off of this same thing where like, I don't know what I'm doing to you unless you speak up and say something about it. I'm like, okay, at the time, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to do a better job at expressing how I feel. Now, through the work that I have done, through the character development that I've done, I've came to realize that I've always expressed how I felt. I've always tried to come across like, hey, this is what's happening, right? I've always been gaslit. I've always been denied, and I've always been pushed to the side. I'm over dramatic. Oh, it's not that big of a deal, or you know, we just have to get through it, or you just need to move past it. Were the favorite fucking punchlines. So, like I said, through that, I'm like also realizing, no, you're grown, right? And I've mentioned this in past videos. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing, right? You don't have any type of mental disability that prevents you to have any type of self-awareness. You are not an adolescent and you are not a senior citizen, right? You're not out of your mind. You're not displaced in any way. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. You know the games that you are playing, right? And this is like going back to throwing the rock and hiding their hand, right? You know this game. Now, at the time, I did not realize that I was the fool in the goddamn game, right? And finally stepping out of my family's bullshit, I'm like, they've always made me react this way. And that was a way of them always pinning whatever situation has occurred on me because I'm the one who's reacting. Ultimate manipulation tactic. And through that, after that mess dies down, she decides to go to my sister. And at the time, I'm venting to my little sister about my older sister back in April when we had that situation and how I felt about that. She goes back, exaggerates that story to my older sister. She goes back and tries to split apart the relationship that me and my grandmother had at the time. Like, and she is retaliating. All because I called her fat and depressed. Now, everything that we've said to each other in confidence is out the window, right? And to this day, I still have not, on my end, expressed all the shit that she has said about other family members inside the unit. I didn't talk about how she said that, you know, my older sister's daughter is gonna grow up to be a fucking slut. And she's going to grow up and be a whore, and she thinks that because she's light-skinned, she's pretty, and she's a bougie bitch. Mind you, my fucking niece is 9 years old. Every chance that she gets, she's saying all of these derogatory, as remarks about her. Mind you, my sister is trusting my little sister to watch her on a regular fucking basis. Now, I'm sitting here like, you've already fucked me over, so... And now my little sister, I'm like, now you're fucking me over, right? After you sat there and continuously picked and pried, I reacted. Now you're the victim. Now you want to go be messy, right? Again, to this day, I didn't talk about what the hell she said about her own mother or how she used to tear down one of our middle sisters, right? My middle sister suffers from like PTSD. She has mental health issues as well. Unfortunately, she's on the system, and every chance that she got, she tore her down. You know what I mean? And I think my little sister, like she said, and I mentioned in a couple of videos back that she's super competitive. So I'm thinking that she's trying to compare her life with everybody else to kind of gauge where she's at. But in the process, because she's so insecure, she's trying to tear people down to validate wherever the hell she has missing. Now, I'm not going to disclose a lot of the trauma that she's went through, but over that past year, she has experienced a lot. And I did have a bit of empathy prior to her trying to go be messy about me calling her fat and depressed, because she was going through a lot. She experienced a lot of pain and a lot of loss, right? But you know what? I can give grace in that, you know what I mean? However, we don't have a relationship after that, because I'm like, I didn't express to anybody what you were confining in me with, you know what I mean? And I expected the same decency. Even if we got into an explosive argument, I would have just never did no shit like that. I mean, obviously, if they see the video, it's out now, and that's only a portion of what she said, right? Moving on, I get kicked out the group chat, the family group chat. They created a whole new group chat around me. After she went to my older sister launches her plan, right? My older sister, 2 weeks later, we had a mutual coworker that I'm going to call Gums. So Gums' birthday was coming up at the end of May. She, in the entire time while I'm arriving to go meet up with Gums, Braceface, and my older sister, talking shit, just making up a whole bunch of lies, a whole bunch of stories. She was saying that my mother always favored me more. Bullshit. She always said, and my ex-sister-in-law can attest to that, how I'll always play victim. Bullshit. You're throwing the rock in how do your goddamn hand, now I'm reacting. And then I still take accountability for when I'm reacting. Matter of fact, I'm unapologetic because you fucking deserve me cursing you the fuck out. And that's just what it is. And it was just a whole bunch of shit. And what I can say is that she has the gift of gab. So she's willing to tear down anybody else. Even throughout the entire relationship with her and her ex-wife, she would always talk down about her ex-wife, boosting herself up, saying, I'm taking on majority of the responsibility. She's not doing this, that, and the third. Kind of making herself always look like the superhero. But jumping back into that, she's talking shit the entire time. So by the time I get there to go meet all three of them and we go out to lunch, I'm getting like weird energies from the both of them. You know what I mean? And one of them, Gums, lashed out on me when I was asking her, hey, let's take shots together. I'm not sure what she was reading in that conversation or what she misheard, but when she lashed out on me, I just backed up. That shit was like, oh, okay, so this is based off of whatever my sister was fucking gossiping about. And when I got there, I was like, hey, what's the issue? Like, what's your problem with me? What are you talking about? Like, everybody, the energy's off. Do you have anything to say to me? Oh, well, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, it was bullshit, right? She never really confronted me. And then throughout this entire situation, she has not been able to confront me. She can't come forward to me. She can't have those conversations with me. She could tell everybody else about it. And one of the lessons I've also learned was, I'm like, baby, well, then that means we don't have a problem. You could tell everybody else, you know, what you're gossiping about me, about and what issues you have with me, baby. But you step to me, all you're doing is telling me lies. You can't even formulate a truthful conversation about what you actually have a problem with, because it's not rooted in anything but envy and jealousy. After that, she starts a whole nother rumor where she's painting me out to be like this such aggressive as like deviant, right? Where now she's like making snide remarks every time she's seeing me. She's going around and spreading those lies amongst my goddamn coworkers. And I had to deal with that all through goddamn June. Now, which is ironic because that's the same time that I end up going on my solo trip, right? So I had both of them, my mother and my sister, drop me off at, the airport and come pick me back up. So I am actually going to stop there because I want to jump into that solo trip in the next video, and we'll make June and July the very next video, right? But for now, because this video is going into almost 17 minutes, this has been Talks with Antoine. Peace.